Hey guys, it's your brother in Christ, Weston. Thanks for joining me today. Today's article comes out of End Times Headlines. Let's get into it. Okay, let me get the record button going here because I can't believe we're talking about something else that we just talked about. Like we just talked about this. Not this specifically, but an attack on an Israeli or a Jew, and now we have this. It says here. Um, Developing FBI probing targeted terror attack. Targeted, by the way, terror attack in Boulder, Colorado. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, is actively probing a targeted terror attack that occurred Sunday afternoon near Pearl Street Mall in Boulder, a vibrant outdoor shopping and dining district. FBI Kash Patel confirmed the investigation, stating, "We are aware and fully investigating the targeted terror attack in Boulder." Um, the incident left several victims injured, though the exact number and severity of the injuries remain undisclosed. Boulder Police Department has evacuated 1,200, 1,300 has evacuated the 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 blocks of Pearl Street between Walnut and Pine as the investigation continues. Authorities have urged the public to avoid the area to ensure safety and facilitate law enforcement efforts. Details surrounding the attack are limited, but sources indicate the incident may have involved a suspect throwing a Molotov cocktails at participants in a walk to remember Israeli hostages held in Gaza. Throwing Molotovs at people who literally were just doing life, and people came out of parachutes, right? Parachuting down, raped. I believe I saw beheadings, murders, families, and took hostages. Doesn't matter who this would have been. Doesn't matter if it was Israel doing that to Palestinians doing that to Israel, Muslims, doesn't matter. Insert whatever towards whatever person, race, ethnicity, doesn't matter, towards another, and I would have called it wrong because it's wrong. The Boulder Police details surrounding are limited. Molotov cocktails. Okay. The Boulder Police Department has taken a suspect into custody without incident, though the individual's identity has not been released as the investigation is ongoing. Suspect reportedly sustained minor injuries and was transported to the hospital. FBI Director Don Bongino emphasized the agency's commitment to investigating, stating, "We are investigating this incident as an act of terror and targeted violence. All necessary assets will be dedicated to this investigation. If any investigative tips, please contact the FBI, and if you've aided or abetted this attack, we will find you. You cannot hide." Colorado Governor Jared Polis addressed the incident, calling it a heinous act of terror, expressing solidarity with those affected. "I am closely monitoring the situation in Boulder, and my thoughts go out to the people who have been injured and impacted by this heinous act of terror." The Boulder Police Department is expected to provide further updates during a press conference scheduled for 4 p.m. local time. Authorities have not yet released information regarding potential motives or additional arrests. The FBI and local law enforcement are working collaboratively to assess the scene and gather evidence. Patel assured the public that updates would be shared as more information becomes available. This is a developing story. Further details are expected as the investigation progresses. There is something to be said about being a Jew in the world, literally anywhere. I'm just, you really need to sit down and chew on it. It's not that I don't have a plight or a heart for the Palestinians, for people who live in Gaza, for Muslims, for literally anybody, because we're made in the image of God. That's not just me. That's the person I don't like. That's the person that believes in something completely different. That's the atheist, agnostic, the Muslim, the Hindu, the Buddhist, whatever. The Mormon, somebody who just believes completely different, somebody who believes slightly different, somebody who has treated me wrong, somebody who would be considered my enemy, somebody who hates me. You're made in the image of God. And you can still make bad choices, terrible choices, for sure. And yet, there's no bias when it comes to acts of terror, any kind of demonstrative acts. Heinous. Why? Targeted, planned, thought about, premeditated. And guess who it involves? The Jews. Some Jewish people. We just did an article over this last week where a couple who were young, younger than me, one was 26 and one was 30, lost their lives outside of the National Jewish National Museum, something like that. Insane. And the guy said, "Free Palestine." Now I don't know who did this, but yet I guarantee you it's going to be somebody. Let's just say 99% sure it's going to be somebody who says "Free Palestine." They may not be Palestinian. It's not to say that Palestinians are asking or calling for this, because that would be the wrong thing to say, because you can't just group, paint everybody with a broad stroke kind of situation. It's the idea that these are acts of terror. I gotta stop this video. These are acts. These are not good. Save this. Boulder attack. And that's to say that this has to stop. There has to be justice. There has to be, you are going to have to remove yourself from your biases and realize that people are people, and God alone will get the vengeance, and work it through the justice system and pray for God's justice, God's vengeance. Protect when you need to protect. Do not take something like this premeditated. Do not be people like this, whose hearts have become, just like our hearts are wicked, far more wicked, to the point where they are filled with the idea of premeditating and targeting and wanting to take somebody's life, throwing Molotovs, cocktails, alcohol or something in some kind of vial, right? Whether it's gas or whatever, and put a cloth in there, light it on fire, and chunk it. That's insane. And it's not just people you're hurting them, you're going to be hurting everybody else around you. This is bad. Not only that, I mean, the thing that happened in Ukraine today against Russia with their drones, and now I just read an article that Trump said that that NATO started a war with Russia, and I've said that for years, and that we have been in a proxy war. Wars and rumors of wars, lawlessness causing the love of many to grow cold. Birth pangs. Anyways, that's the video, guys. If you like the video, be sure to like the video. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.